the summer before my senior year, when I was going to move here, I completely flatlined. I was the most depressed I've ever been, most anxious I've ever been. I even like my family that I was close with, which is my aunt and my uncle, like I still didn't feel like personally comfortable just talking to them about anything. And that created like a little bit of a wedge that needed to be worked through. Like that in itself, before I even started going to school, I felt like I started off at a low place.
So when you're at that bottom and you're really depressed and things are really dark, uh, because there's a lot of people who get there. There's a lot of people who are there. How do you get from there to even the first step closer to where you are now? You know what I'm talking about? Like when you're in the darkest place to that first step, like how do you do that?
It sounds extremely silly. It also kind of sounds a little bit meaner than it should, maybe. But I feel like I'm very I'm a very spiteful person. Like, like out of both a want to cultivate my own future is what also kept me going. Which is the fact of even if it's myself or someone else telling me like, oh, you can't accomplish this or you can't do this, I will 100% do it at my very best ability, purely out of spite.
So in that moment, explain to me how that worked.
Just the verbal and emotional abuse that I went through, it was a thing of like, oh, you're terrible. You're never going to do it. You'll never be anything, that kind of thing, in which I like that motivated me to be like, I'm not gonna let this person prove themselves right. Like I just physically gut rationale. I just can't. That kept me going at that same point, and getting better felt like a reward for doing so. And that's something like I took a bad emotion, such as like spite, I guess, and made it into something positive. There's a reason why I keep going even now is just for the future that I want to cultivate, the things I want to do, the things I want to experience, where I want to be is a good enough reason for me to keep going and to pick myself up out of that dark place and get started